All right, I'll get rid of this then. Slowly cleaning as I'm on the live stream. Everybody show up, singing the song. All right, we're gonna do some linear algebra, and I'm gonna kick Lorenzo out because he showed up on a weekday. He should get his own life, own dang life. But as usual, please try to think about donating to Patreon. We're going to start putting a whole bunch of stuff up there, including content for all of my old notes that I religiously took when I took classes at MacEwan and the University of Alberta from some of the best instructors, and I can pay it forward. Basically, there's a saying that was in the dojo that I went to, the Desa Karate. It's Weiche-Ryu Karate Do in St. Albert. And I don't know the exact quote, but it's something along the lines of being an instructor is an extremely humbling and uh, you should be extremely cautious, humbling experience, and you should be extremely cautious when you teach stuff because you don't know how far it's going to go and how long down the eons of time it will go. Something like this, to where you say things and you just think that you're teaching things, but this is the May that or the memes. I call them Mays in my class, but this is the memes that Richard Dawkins was talking about in 1976 in his Selfish Gene. The book is Selfish Gene. The story I always tell is the bird in Central Park. I know it's like you can see, I can see you.
Bird, Central Park.
Yeah, but there's this crane in Central Park that was a genius, Einstein crane, because he put together that there's fish in the pond, and then people for some reason feed those rats with wings called pigeons, and so he would take the bread and put it in the water, and then he'd wait till the fish come up, and then he gets free food. But he can't tell this to the next generation. So Richard Dawkins says a meme is something that intellectual that we can pass down from generation to generation. There's a pick on the floor. I'm going to take that. I'm going to take that as a win. Easily distracted. Also, the coffee line of where I spilt it on the chalk line. This gives me the perfect cat pacing line back and forth. So, the difference between our species and most of the other species is we can pass these things down generationally. So, you should take this extremely serious. And so, one of the ways that I wanted to do this on Patreon was what I was originally saying. If for a few dollars, if you could do that, you'll get access to pictures of, or I can handwrite, or I'm not going to use Chat GPT, but possibly maybe get it to organize all of these notes and hand the baton from you. You don't, you're always, especially in your first years, if you go into the field that you're doing, I know it might not be math necessarily, but when you go into your field, and especially if it is math, you should stop and think once in a while that the people, whether the institute likes them or not, and whether they're prickly and crazy assholes like me, I'm not equating myself to a lot of these giants that I'm going to start talking about, but you should think to yourself and notice the privilege it is and how lucky you are to rub shoulders with some of the people that you interact with, like Chuck Duran or George Pesky or Wisław Klavsevich or any of these other tours, Volker Runda, and all of these, Sunil Baran, Mark Solomonovich, all of these people that you end up, who was the one, Don Page, used to go to the U of A. I never took a class officially with Don Page. I used to go sit in his physics classes. And everyone's like, I hate Don Page. Look at Don Page. Don Page got his PhD from Stephen Hawking's. So you don't understand, and you should stop and appreciate the fact that you might hate the physics and the class is hard and this education game is stupid, but we're trying to pass this baton from the tours de force and the giants that we need to stand on the shoulders of to get to our career once in a while. That's our rant for Patreon. So I need to feed my kids. But along the way, I've taken a lot of classes, 53 math classes from a lot of these wizards. And I have all the notes, and we're going to start transcribing them and putting them onto YouTube or onto Patreon without ChatGPT, because ChatGPT, even then, or AI, any of these AIs don't know what's going on and they're not part of the baton process. Do work, support a wizard on Patreon. I can barely feed my offspring. If you don't like me, know that I have a lot of cats and a daughter that I have to feed too. And they're guilty by proxy, I guess. They're guilty by proxy. All right. Hopefully there's some people here now.
Yep,
and we can start doing this. What I'm trying to do is find, let's rephrase this several different ways. In R3, I got paid today a pittance, and it's already gone because I have to pay a mortgage and everything else. So, paid, immediately poor again. Thanks, McEwen. I mean, McEwen's great. In R3, we're looking for points X, Y, Z that are on both of these planes. This is P1 that Lorenzo gave me, and this is P2. I don't know where he got it from, probably Mark's book, speaking of the geniuses. So one way to say this is, can you find points in R3 that are on both of these planes? Another way to redo it is just to ignore all of that and zip, zip, zip. Go like this and just say, I have a system of 2 equations and 2 unknowns. In my class, the one that I always do is the hundreds foul problem. On Twitch, we can probably push it a little bit, but then you're talking about chicks and cocks and hens a lot. Hens and chicks and cocks. So they used to call them cocks, the roosters. I'm going to say cocks, and then chicks. You need chicks. You need chicks and cocks and hens. This is the way it was done in the I Ching dynasty in the 9 chapters of mathematical art, all right? So then there's chicks and cocks and hens, and you have to buy 100 fowl. So even that one's less funny. Well, I guess it's fowl, but not the other fowl. And then someone policed it all, and now we gotta have to call them roosters. And birds. But birds is also connected to, because birds get all fluffed up, and so do ladies. So in England, they call them birds. We won't get into what they call cigarettes in England, because Lorenzo wants to stay monetized. It's a bundle of wood. All right, so there would be some kind of, and they're using Xi'an, I believe, is the currency that they're using. I'm going somewhere with this, but there's another way to get something from this. This one looks like a planes one, and that's where it comes from. No matter where it comes from, I'm going to augment a matrix and solve it, and there's going to be infinitely many solutions because there's already a row of zeros.
You can basically just...
I know what I'm doing. So, in the story of this, I can't remember the denominations, but these, which is the way that it should be, are worth the most. So it costs 3 Xi'an per cock. I choked on my words there. And then it was 1/3, I think, for a chick for the babies. For convenience, we'll do that. This one, I think this is the way they're doing it. And then the hens were 1 Xi'an. I should probably do that differently, but whatever. And so what they want is they need to get 100 birds, and they have $100. So you call X the amount of cocks you're going to get, Y the amount of hens you're going to get, and Z the amount of chicks you're going to get. And so whatever that is, X plus Y plus Z has to equal 100 fowls, 100 birds, and then the 3X plus Y plus 1/3 Z has to also equal 100. And now do you see, I got seemingly the same type of situation. This comes from the market in China a couple 3,000 years ago. And this one comes from finding the line of intersection of planes. So no matter where it comes from, what we're doing is the power of phrasing things mathematically and thinking abstractly is, regardless of whether I do this or we'll do this in the history ones when we do this one of these days. We should do a podcast about history. We should go to frickin' Italy too. I've been just watching the Da Vinci Code, the 3 movies again, and they're always in Rome and Florence, and I miss those places. Lorenzo's not even been there. Plus, he can't eat bread and cheese. I'm starting to question your super Italian status.
Hey now,
when we go there,
words.
is there anything you could take so that we can eat bread and cheese while we're there? Because if you don't partake with me when we're there, with the bread and the cheese and the women and stuff, I threw in women. I don't know.
There's nothing wrong with the women. No, that's
No, even in the third movie, she's like, "This is my uncle." She's like, "This is Italy. You don't have to say niece in Italy." I was like, "Yeah, you're allowed to have a mistress and a side piece and a wife." They know how it goes. Men don't cheat. That's impossible. I just have a wife and a side piece and my main piece. And
on The Simpsons, how Milhouse put it is like, Lisa, she is the mistress, or she's the appetizer, you're the main course.
yeah.
Milhouse was from, his grandparents were from Tuscany.
Oh,
in case
Tuscany.
you're wondering, yeah.
Isn't that on the Sicilian? No, that's not quite. It's
No,
still
Sicily
on
is the largest island.
the,
It's
the
to
island.
the south.
You're like, no, the
There's
Tuscan.
also Sardinia, which
Medici. Okay, I got sidetracked. I'm going to leave the cocks and chicks and hens. Let's just do this, cocks and chicks. And then people will start halfway through and they're like, what the hell was happening at the beginning of this?
out of context. Out of context.
Out of context. All right, so this was requested. I don't know how many of the students, I get emails from students saying, is our exam 6 to 9? And it's like, thanks for checking the day before our exam happens, but yes, it's from 6 to 9, and no, I didn't do that, and it's from 6 to 8, because if you want a 3-hour exam, I'm going to have to add 4 questions. I still haven't even picked them up from fucking print services, but I'll do that tomorrow after I drop my daughter off at school. But yes, once again, thanks McEwen for scheduling our exam from 6 to 9 p.m. I don't know what the hell's going on. This is a graph theory problem, and I should really point it out to them, because why are there rooms that are empty during the day, and then you give me an exam from 6 to 9? Method, not the mission. They're worried about the method, not the mission. The mission is learn linear algebra. Let's go. I'm immediately going to, regardless of the context, just augment the matrix. Whoa. 3 equals 0. And then what do I have? Negative 2, 0. This bothers people too. They're like, there was no y coordinate. You start getting an email when there was just, it just went from x to z. That means the coefficient in front of the y is 0. And then they don't do that. And even those little things is an extremely useful thing to do. If you're worried about that at this stage, I'm blowing the whistle. We're going over onto the killing field tomorrow. You better make sure your Kalishnikov is cleaned. So now I have the augmented matrix of this linear system, which is asking what's the intersection line of these two planes. I'm calling this P2 and this P1. Screw you.
Okay.
Yeah, you're like, I wasn't going to argue. It doesn't matter. It's like type 1 and type 2 supernova. I don't know which one's which, but one has hydrogen present and one doesn't. I don't know why they don't just say that. 2A is the different one where it's a binary system, I think, right? And that's the standard candle.
The designations, yeah. I forget them.
Yeah, I don't know. But the 2A, I think, is the standard candle because that has a binary system, and it's like they call some of them vampire stars because it's stealing all of the gas from the other one, and then once it hits the neutron star and it gets to critical mass, then it sloughs it off, and then
that's one of them. Yep.
Yeah, that's always this. That's the same amount. Anyways, this is what we want to use science for. It doesn't matter where it came from. Gauss was trying to find Ceres because they had lost at the largest asteroid in the asteroid belt. So we had a system of like 24 equations and 28 unknowns or something like that. And then he discovered Gaussian-Jordan elimination. So augment your matrix. Get a leading one in the top left corner, which is the mantra. If you don't have that, try to use Diophantine equations to add to get a 1 instead of divide and have fractions in all your computations. I'll digress. Have a leading one, eliminate below. Gaussian elimination. We're eliminating the variable x, technically speaking. I'm going to multiply by 2. I don't know why I circled this one, just for poops and tickles. All right. This is going to give me 1, minus 1, 3, 0. This is how you stall when you don't really want to do anything. I like math, but it's like I've been doing math all day, and then I was doing a bunch of maps. I'm the map. Red Rock, Scary Forest, Abuela's house. Shut up, map. When you have kids, all you kids, you'll see
That
about.
makes so much more sense.
You'll
It's not
see
just
about
crazy.
Dora the Explorer. Baby Jaguar, rah rah. I'm gonna punch you, baby Jaguar. I like cats, but get out of here. Nom 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 nom. Delicioso. It's like it's ingrained in your brain. I don't even want to know these things, but I do. He laughs. You can't hear him laughing, but he also has offspring. So he also has offspring. So it's freaking hilarious. And then the map. That's all he says. I'm the map. Red Rock, Spooky Forest, Abuela's house. I'm gonna come over here for a second. Oh, that's gonna be one of our episodes. The freaking toy. Where's me rainbow? Come over here, map. I got something in the corner for you. All right. Yeah, and then we're just gonna shit kick the map, and everyone's gonna feel good about themselves. You need a scapegoat. -2 minus 2 is 0. That's why I did it. 0 plus -2 is gonna give me -2. 1 plus 6 is 7. If you don't know what we're doing, write it down. That's what we're doing in that spot. I'm multiplying the whole row by 2. And then I'm adding it to the 1. If you don't know what's going on at this stage, I'm scared for you. 4 isn't going to change. Is that what you got? Shut up. It was rhetorical. It's all rhetorical at this stage. Now what can I do? This is REF. If you don't like that, now you see that there will be fractions, because especially if you took this from Mark's book, he and the universe don't really care whether you understand what's going on. You have to carve this out, so there be fractions here. So I'm going to do one more REF, and this is what we mean mathematically when we say up to symmetry of a square, there's only one solution to the magic square, or up to the leading coefficients being 1, there's a unique REF. There's a definitely unique reduced row echelon form, but you don't have to have leading entries be 1 here. I'm going to make it a 1. 0, and then I'm going to keep this up also. That was convenient. This is going to be a 1, -7 over 2, and then that one won't be a fraction. That'll be -2. So there is fractions in there. That's okay. And then for some reason, everyone gets trained, but then they're pigeons on a stool even when I do it, because there's got to be some way. Lorenzo, let's think of this, not in real time necessarily, but write that shit down. It should be a mantra to where you write the system down again every time. When we back substitute, we get lazy. There it is, I guess. Every time I train you, and then everyone sees how to do it. It's the same as multiplication. If I said 17 times 19, you got trained when you were knee-high to a grasshopper. You line them up, and then okay. 9 times 7 is 63. Okay, say it quietly so that they can't hear you. So they think it's me. And then 15, right? Yeah, okay. Add a 0. Why do you add a 0? Because now we're multiplying here, and it's not going to add to the 1 spot anymore. But then this I could do. That's a palindrome. I knew what the answer was. Also, going the reverse direction is extremely hard. So 17 times 19 is 323. But can you articulate the process of doing that to someone that's never seen it before? This is what's hard. And when you do the process, somehow you learn how to do it, but then you don't understand or think about the articulation of every step. And just to show you, this is why your credit card is safe. I took a twin prime pair, 17 and 19, and I multiplied them to get to 323. I just showed you the primes that were in it. Can you tell me which primes are in it if I give you 323? That's hard. They take 200-digit primes and multiply it together. This is why it's called public RSA code. The public part is they give you the information of the integer n, but there's no possible way to factor n. We don't have an algorithm for it, the proverbial we, not Lorenzo and I. Well, that in that subset, we're in there. But even if you did, it would take more seconds with a computer than the number of seconds that have unfolded in the universe, I believe. So then it would render it useless to the user. Okay, let's go back. What I want to do is connect that, what I just talked about, the reverse process, to what we're doing here. I train you to augment the matrix, and then you get to the end in an easier equivalent form of the system, and then you're like, I don't remember how to backtrack, and then on top of it, I'm asking whether this is onto linear transformation, or whether this was the intersection of two lines or something, and then you're doing something else. So inside there, now I'm just using the augmented matrix and this linear system as the machinery of what we're doing for the actual problem. And then you're lost. So when you get here and you get to REF and you correctly assess that there's infinitely many solutions, the infinitely many solutions is the line of intersection of the two planes in this case. Rewrite the system out. The first equation, I say, if you have a 1 here, the first equation doesn't even change. It's still x minus y plus 3z equals 0. But we changed the bottom equation to now say that 1 times y minus 7 over 2z equals negative 2. Now back substitute. Now go to the mantra of what I say. I'm assuming that if you're just watching, then you like this and you probably have possibly seen me say this. But now I have a leading 1 and I have a leading 1. If you do the dirty trick that I did and you like a nice square system every time, you can add that row of zeros, which meant there was no extra information in the system anyways. But there it is. So now you can see that's what also bothers everybody, because you said, well, only if you had a row of zeros would there be infinitely many solutions. Well, no, it's there, but it's hiding. The other way to see that there is the correct way to say this and not the lazy way to say that there's infinitely many solutions is how many leading ones did I get in REF? 2. How many variables did I have originally? X, Y, Z, Z, Z. I call my cousin Z, not Z. Nah. Z's dead, baby. It's Z. Z's the top G. So I have 2. I don't have any contradictions. There's only 3 cases. I can have no solutions, I can have infinitely many solutions, or I can have one solution. There's no contradictions here because I don't get a 0 equals 1 anywhere. And so there has to be, it's consistent, so there has to, and also if I look at this, the rank of the augmented matrix is 2, the rank of the coefficient matrix is 2, and so this has a consistent system. So it either has one solution or infinitely many solutions. I can't have a unique solution because the only way to get a unique solution is to have the same number of leading entries in the REF as variables. So I have to, even though the row of zeros is missing in this scenario, I have to now know that there's infinitely many solutions, and now the column that doesn't have a leading entry is the free variable, is the best way to do that. You could technically make any one of them the free variable. In calculus or high school, technically we make this guy the free variable and then these guys depend on everybody else. But in Gauss land, we make the last guy be the free variable and make these two depend on the last guy, which is also backwards, which probably doesn't get pointed out to you very often. But that's what happened, which was weird. That's why you can't recognize that this, in the two-dimensional case, that this is a line, because normally you write y equals mx plus b. Anyways, I'll digress. What does this say now? Now you can see I'm going to call z equals t free. Oh, I'm fighting off Sneezy, but I don't know how many other questions we're going to get, and then we can go. Lorenzo, one of us is still here. I'll let you guess which one should leave. Now what? Well, now that means this is a one-by-one linear system because he's the independent variable. He's free to be any real number. That's why there's infinitely many, uncountably. And now I just move this over. Y is going to be negative 2 plus 7 over 2z, but z is t. So box that shit off, is what the engineers like to say. So now I have z, and now I have y, and so now I have to find z. And now back substituting, I don't need that equation anymore. I'm solving for x. So x is now y minus 3z, and so that's equal to y was negative 2 plus 7t over 2 plus 3z, which is t. And so now I have to clean this up, and nobody likes that, but that says, let's do Captain Morgan's, x is equal to negative 2 plus, what do we have to do? 2 and 2, uh-oh, is that a 13? Yeah, prime, plus 13t over 2. Now, if you want to see that that is a line, what are the avatars that you have? You have the vector form of a line, you have the parametric form of a line, or the symmetric form of the line. Let's do both of those. That now says that x, y, z is equal to, z also rhymes in the alphabet. X, A, B, C, D, E, F, Z. It doesn't
start the alphabet with an X.
Yeah. X, Y. If you threw in a Z, Z is dead. It's frickin' Z. That's a Wizard's alphabet song. What was I doing? Math. X is negative 2. Is that the same one? Yeah. Okay, it goes through both. I was just checking. Plus 13t over 2. Y is negative 2 plus 7t over 2. And Z is 0 plus T if you really want. They don't write it, and then you're like, where was the constant? But now in this avatar, in my classes, you should be able to say that in this parametric avatar, that's the point that the line is through, and the vector that it's through is this one. So this will be the V.
I think, did that negative for Z, should you have had a negative T when you substituted?
Oh, but
Yeah, negative.
yeah, good. Somebody's watching. Was it you or somebody? SMRT. SMRT.
I'll take credit for it.
Minus, so then, oh, it's just a half plus a half. I'll take it. T over 2. Okay, good. That was a poignant timing. Also, since you showed up, if you showed up, I'll go through the thing and find out who. I know, but from my class, I'll find out who showed up. I said 6 to 7 also, so I lied. I'm going to get a bunch of emails later saying, actually, you said 6 to 7. And I'm going to email back, I say a lot of things. I'm the king of France.
France doesn't have a king.
I'm still not Dauphin. Dauphin then. Or they got rid of it, is what you're saying. No more kings. Shut your mouth. At least when there was a king, there was one asshole that could do everything that they wanted. Now everybody's an asshole that thinks they can do it whatever they want.
They just removed the king's head, right?
I say go back to kings. Bring back the king. When I was 20, I would have disagreed with 48-year-old AJ. But 40-year-old AJ is like, let's just have one asshole from now on, please. Nobody cares about your opinion.
Well, here's the thing. You're going to love this. Canada does have a king.
Yeah. The Los Angeles Kings. No.
No, like the actual king of England is the head
I
of state.
reject your reality and replace it with my own.
Reality doesn't work like that, but all right.
Well, all right. So now what were you going to say? Lorenzo said some kind of bullcrap about finding the cross product of these two.
Take the
Just
normal vectors.
throws them right under the bus. Hey, look, there's a bus. Whoop. No, that's House of Cards.
Draw a picture. Draw a picture. We have two normal vectors, correct?
Yes.
Si or no? Yes or no? We have two normal vectors,
Si.
right? And then you cross those two normal vectors.
Ciao, Bella. That's all I know how to say.
That's all you need.
I don't know if I'm saying hello or goodbye. I'm hoping goodbye. Ciao, Bella.
Ciao is both. Ciao is both.
I know. That was the joke.
Oh.
I was doing the joke. I've been to Italy.
Yeah, well, I speak Italian.
And then, okay, touche. How do I say seek and find? I already forgot.
Cerchi.
Yeah.
Cerchi, like to.
Yeah.
You look. Trovi.
Cerca trove.
Yeah.
That's what they were looking for in the last movie.
Okay.
Seek and find. I knew you'd know because he's pure Italian. He's super Italian.
Yeah, I did. Like when I did the DNA testing, it was like getting a null result. I expected some mix, no mix. It's like solidly.
You've got the
Central Italian.
2% Neanderthal like the rest of us, but the rest is just straight Italian. It's just the rest is. Yeah, we messed with a couple of Italian Neanderthals. The little tiny guy that they found.
The Hobbit, the Florensis.
No, not the Florensis. The guy that they found in the Ice Age man that they found. He was Italian too. He was running around.
Oh, yeah, he was in the Alps. The
Yeah.
Otzi man or something.
Yeah, that's it. He was on the Italian side mostly. He ate his last meal on the Italian side of the Alps, anyways.
Yeah, it's the fine last supper.
Super Italian. Yeah.
Hello to everyone just joining us now. Who are saying hello to us.
Hello.
All right. Anyways, take the normal vectors, cross them. Let's see what we get, and then I'm gonna make you do another question if no one else has any questions.
Yeah. So, what did we get? We got one. This is the vector that we get, and then what is the normal? Let's just do one of them. The normal vector for the first, or the N2. I'm calling it because this is plane 2. The
Well,
normal.
I'm gonna cross the two normal vectors, right?
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. I was gonna take the dot product of the two. Okay.
We could do both.
We could do just. I hear you. Come over here. We were just talking about that. Yes, I'm down here. They're going to think I'm crazy. There he is. You're just a snuggle boy. Hi. If a cat comes down, take a break. Hi. No, look over there. Yeah, it's over there. I don't know what kind of religion this is, but I want in. Go, Lorenzo's over there. Yeah. Did you hear the Italian swagger? You came down to see what was up. That should do nicely because you probably didn't get the fractions that way. Okay, let's see. N1 cross N2. What if I do it the other way? What will I get?
You mean like property or cross product, the negative?
Yeah, because if you draw a picture, if you get the first normal vector, the other one's pointing this way. There's two of them perpendicular to this. This is what we call upwards orientation. Mark has a bunch of problems like that where he says he wants the upward outward orientation when you have like some other manifold, and then you're finding the tangent plane to that manifold, right? That starts getting complicated when we're doing calculus.
Two-dimensional surface instead of just the
Right,
one-dimensional line.
but then he'll say, and then find the one that has the acute angle to the positive z-axis or whatever. So then you have to find the one that has the coordinate that has this guy, which is positive and not the negative, because this one will have the negative coordinate of z. Anyways, that's a different problem.
Yeah, there were a few of those in the help center.
I know Mark likes to push the boundaries. I like to do meat and potatoes and just know your audience. What are we doing here? Mark's doing it for just the people that really like it, and that's why we like the book. But everyone else is like, just show me how to do this so I can be one and done. Ciao, Bella. One and done. 1, -1, 3, -2, 0, 1. Right? And also you can see properties of determinants. If I interchange those, every time I interchange two rows, I get a negative. But let's just cofactor expand. Technically speaking, I'll show you. Let's write that. Oh, it's still up here in my avatar, so I'll keep it up there. But what I'm doing, technically speaking, is I'm cofactor expanding along the top row. So that's A11C11 plus A12C12 plus A13C13, which is by definition A11 times -1 to the 1 plus 1 M11 plus A12 -1 to the 1 plus 2 M12 plus A13 times -1 to the 1 plus 3 M13. Cofactors are signed minors, so that means that this is technically equal to A11 is I. This is a 1, so this is M11 minus J times M12 plus K times M13. If you know what you're doing, you can just spit this out at any point. Now, what's that going to say? This was I, where you normally would if you know what's going on, but this is hidden in my mind the whole time. Now, what am I doing? M11 is the sub 2x2 determinant obtained by blocking off row 1 every time and column 1 this time. So that'll be -1, 3, 0, 1. Minus J because of the cofactor expansion. J is A12 times the sub minor obtained by blocking off row 1 and column 2, the Greek cross. No, it's T, capital T, for time to get out of town. Richer.
More classic South Park, if anyone's confused. This was, that episode happened before some of these students were born.
That's all right. And then M13 is going to be blocking off this one and this one. So I'm going to get 1 minus 1, -2, 0. And then everyone's like, well, how did you get a vector of that? I always laugh at you because this is 1, 0, 0 times, what did we get? -1. Plus, minus J is 0, 1, 0. And then what did I get? Yeah, so 7, right?
Yes, 7.
And then what?
-2.
And then this was going to highlight, yes, 3 negatives is a -2. So then that gives us the vector what? -1, 7, -2, right?
-7.
Correct. And now do you see? I claim that this vector is in the same direction as this vector. Is it? What t do you have to pick for it to be that? Do you see it?
Yep.
-1/2. No, -2. If you pick t equals -2, what do I get? I get -2/2, which is 1. I get -7 halves time, or -2 times 7 halves, something like that. -7, the 2's cancel. And then
Math
t is
arithmetic works.
-2.
So there you go. Doing that gives us that. But
That's also the dirty that they were doing in that. Do you remember in the U of A's linear algebra review when they said which complex eigenvalues this guy is associated to, where they had done that, but then on top of it, they'd multiplied by a number, like a complex number, to get rid of it. And then it's hard for them to see that that vector is in the same direction. But that's the trick that they're doing. Once I find that, the parameter t can be anything. But yes, Lorenzo's method, I'll allow it.
and then to find a point, just let t equals 0, and then you should get a 2x2 system, right?
Yeah.
Come here real quick and look at this.
Don't touch my phone.
One of your students.
Okay. Okay, good. Yay.
Thought you'd appreciate that.
It won't help. I'm still not going to be here in the fall. I don't think they haven't given me anything, and they slowly are edging me out. So I wish it was the other kind of edging. I could take that, even though there's no ending to this. But yes, thank you very much. I need this because, let's not mention names, but I had to have a couple conversations this semester because other students complained in the class about my jokes and my attitude and my general demeanor. And so I told them everyone else was enjoying themselves and they didn't believe me. So the more of you that actually give me a good review, the better. I appreciate it. A bunch of people give me, just to make you feel bad, for the students that are here and haven't already, a bunch of students also gave me a bunch of gifts and stuff. So where's fucking your get on that?
Can you come here and read this other one?
Oh, you're gonna make me read it. I didn't
Well,
go
you
get.
didn't
I
put
didn't
the
get my.
laptop.
I didn't put my laptop off.
Yeah. Right here.
Yeah, good. This is the idea. This is the idea. And unfortunately, they just want mild-mannered professor that doesn't have a personality that could fight themselves out of a wet paper bag, and I refuse to do this. You're either going to like me or you're going to hate me. We were just talking about this, but you're definitely going to remember me when you do this. And hopefully you'll get this and you can pay it forward, and we're never going to quit, probably just at MacEwan if they do. The irony is all I want is a full-time job and a little bit of respect and some consistency. And they're like, no, we don't like your attitude. So a lot of people do like my attitude, and math is not for gatekeepers. Anyone can, this is Ratatouille. Anyone can become the chef. It doesn't matter where you come from. As long as you work hard and do this, it's accessible to everybody. And I think this is part of the reason why everyone hates math, because they just get somebody go in there that just stares at the board and is monotone and then has PowerPoints and then just goes through it and then just does a whole bunch of integrals and says, look at how smart I am. I'm trying to tell a story and tell you that, yeah, everything in the world is mathematics as far as I'm concerned, and it's accessible to everybody, and I can phrase almost damn any scenario that I come across in some kind of linear algebra in some way, shape, or form. So I appreciate it. And the other thing that they forget is they just want you to be quiet and give them money. They just want me to shut up and take the little pittance that they give me, and then they get to siphon off the rest. So there's something broken with the system. Who's phoning me? Hey, are you pocket dialing me?
He's muted right now, so I'll just talk for a little bit. We'll
Never mind. I'm hanging up.
okay.
It's just my cousin pocket dialing me. It wasn't important.
All
I'll
right.
take stuff on stream, and I forgot what I was talking about. Something about poor old me, and I don't have a job anymore because I'm loud and obnoxious. If you never liked all your other math classes, is roughly my point. Maybe you haven't had me, and maybe you should try shaking it up. And the style is Don't just go in there and try and focus on the equations and all of this boring stuff from most people's point of view. This is where you're going to have claustrophobia. Use a lot of space, use a lot of paper. This is the thing I've noticed in high school and stuff like that. They give you like a question and then they give you this much room to do the calculation. And you're like, well, I guess I'm not smart enough because they've given me this and I don't know how to fill it in. It's like, I don't either. It's like, use as much space as you want. That's why I started putting those exams on the legal paper. And then the lady was like, well, if you just done it online, I'll give it to you. And then I just walked away and was like, it's for the students. I don't really care. Yeah, put it on long paper even. Oh, Devin Chalifo. Probably shouldn't let you see this because it seems like it's a Freedom of Protection and Information Act. Don't worry. You know why I kept theirs? Because I bet they got all the answers right. They did. Anyways, that's Math
They
100.
couldn't see it on the stream anyways. It's
Oh, and then it was supposed to be scanned in. Oh, that was the fiasco of a fiasco with it, which I saved them. Adrian will come in on a Sunday, boxing. No, it was Christmas Eve. Can you just come into the U of A and scan a bunch of these because we made a mistake? Yes. And then guess who doesn't have a job at the U of A anymore either?
Another
Academia.
question to do.
Yeah, Academia is pissing on you and telling you it's raining. What are we doing? I'm drawing a box right here.
All right. Well, while you erase that box, we're gonna go with two planes, and they are parallel, and you want the distance between the two. Want to do that?
Where are you getting this from?
This one was from the assignment, but I'm kind of making it ad hoc based on the planes that we just looked at.
Here, just wait. Let me do it then.
Okay. Should I put up the technical difficulties? All right.
So I just found Mark Solomonov. Go right directly to the source.
Even better.
So here's the 5th edition. Every time he has a new edition, he gives me a copy for free. Na 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 boo boo. Here we go. I'm gonna draw it first, and I'll derive it for you because everyone's scared. There's the distance D. So this is the picture that we have. I'm taking it directly from Mark's book. Or I'm a wizard and I just do everything myself. So AC is the distance that we're looking for, an external point. So what you're going to do is you have these two planes, they're parallel, right? I'll call this P1 now because Lorenzo wants the top one to be P1 and P2. I'm always the top. I'm always P1. If there's P, are we going to do... Okay.
Those are the two normal vectors touching, if anyone's wondering.
Yeah, I was trying to think
Oh, this is gonna get off the rails. Yeah.
There's a different one. There's a scissory one too. All right.
Anyways, moving on.
AC, or the length of that in geometry, the length of this is equal to the absolute value of the projection of AB onto N, which is as the formula. It's the orthogonal or the projection component, not the actual orthogonal projection. You could do the whole orthogonal projection. Do you want to? We could derive it to show you why.
You can do whatever you like. The more the better. Why not? There's lots of viewers.
Is there? I will just do what he wants. So it's going to be AB dot N. He's calling it capital N over the magnitude of N. When we do this normally, we get the projection is N squared, but then in the derivation, one of them cancels. So what does Mark have? Let's go back to the problems. If you're looking at this, you can go do it, try it yourself, and see if it works out. But he's saying this was number what? Solution. Example 34. Example 32, 33. Where's 34? I can't read. Find the distance from a given point A. So if it was in the plane, assume it's there. If you have the plane, just kill two of the coordinates and then you can find a point in the plane. Then you have a point in, and that's an external point. Remember, the normal vector can be anywhere. It's always the same normal vector, right? It doesn't matter where it is. And now what you have to do is pick the external point. So in this case, they give it to me. A is 3, -1, 5. And then he says to the plane. And so this plane, so what we did was we found that this point was in this plane, say, okay? What's the best way to find that? Let's say, let me make up the second plane. 3x minus y plus 5z. Oh no, that would be x equals. So x plus y plus z equals 7. See what I did there? Because they satisfy the plane now. So I picked a point. There's an easier one to do here, but let's say we pick that point from being in this plane. Ad hoc. And then the other plane is 2x minus y plus 2z minus or equals 2. So in this avatar for this picture now that I draw too many normal vectors, what do I need? I need the normal vector to this plane. And what is it? It's the coefficient standing in front of the x, y, z. So n in this case is 2, -1, 2. Oh, that's New York. 2, 1, 2. -1. Close enough. I don't need the book anymore. Now let's use the formula. So either you remember that. So it's what you have to do now is create a vector. So now I need, oh, let's do it here. Is that what he did? Let's do the same one that he did. It doesn't really matter. I'm just following and I'm lazy. Let's see if I get the same point. He did. Chef's kiss. Now I don't need the book anymore. I just wanted to verify that I was going to be SMRT
As you pick it up.
like Mark as I pick it up and look at it. Now that I know the answer, what are we going to do without the answers? I just wanted to verify that I picked the same point as Mark, and I did. So what Mark did was, because there's a 2 there, he could have picked 1, 0, 0 or 2, 0, 0, but I just kill the first 2 usually, and that's exactly what Mark did. So what he's doing is he's setting x equal to 0, he's setting y equal to 0, but if that's true, those go away, and then what does that say? Z is 2 over 2, which is 1, so I get k. But what that does is that gives me a point in this plane, right? That gives me B. So B is 0, 0, 1. So if you have a problem like this on your exam and you have to find the distance between two planes because they're parallel, or a line and a plane, even if it's not another plane, the other scenario, which I'm pretty sure is yours because I promised that I would give you a one-dimensional object and a two-dimensional object, nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Then what we're going to do is you could find a point the same way from the parametric equations, like Lorenzo was saying, just let t equal 0, or you're going to have a point in that line now. So I now have the A, which is given in this case, an external point, and then I have a B, which I found from the other plane. So now I have an A and a B. What do I need now? I need the vector AB. The vector AB as vectors is equal to B minus A, which is equal to 0, 0, 1. Also in the calculation, it makes it nice with minus 3, -1, 5, which is equal to -3, 1, -4. Did I do that right? I don't care. It's your exam. I've done this before. Mark Solomonovich taught me linear algebra 120. I got A plus. He gave me bonus. I got more than 100% on the first midterm because I was the only one that knew how to do orthogonal projection in the class. I was the only one. I'm just saying. I do have a Dean's Silver Medal in science. I don't know where it is right now. It's upstairs because I sleep with it and I cry with it in the shower. No one cares about me anymore, and you're raw silver, so cry with me and it'll take my tears of sadness and make me win. Entropy is increasing in the world. What was I talking about? Now we have this guy, AB. I just created. Now what's n? N is this guy. What's the magnitude of n? Oh, Mark made a Pythagorean triple in 3 dimensions. Quadruple. Do you see what he did? The norm of n now is an integer. It's the square root of 2 squared plus negative 1 squared plus 2 squared. That's an even harder game than the one we were playing before, which is the square root of 9, which is 3. So let's recap now that it's all on the board. Draw a GD picture. Capital G, lowercase d. Once you have the picture, you can see what we need. We're doing the orthogonal projection of this onto this. In one of the cases, the magnitude of what it really is the magnitude, the a dot n squared, the full projection, actually, do you see? But then it's times, and then I want the magnitude of n again. But then it's going to be the norm of one of these, and one of those is going to cancel. So then it's going to be the length of that. So then in that guy, it'll just be simplifying to this guy. You need the absolute values now on the outside because length is always positive. He probably cooked it up where it is negative. Now let's see. So step 1 is draw your picture. Step 2, the information is you need the normal vector to the plane that you're finding the distance to, whether it's a line or... Stop. Put the scissors down. Put the scissors down. That just about went up my butt. Up my butt.
You have things precariously positioned to.
I know. It's like
insertion.
I keep backing it up. Back it up. Make it clap. No hands. What was I doing? Now I need the normal vector. The normal vector comes from the coefficients in front of the x, y, z. Z. Then I need to create the vector AB. You need a point in the external object and a point in the plane. I know. You were outside too. How come your belly's wet? I don't want to know. Sometimes when you're messing with stuff, say hi. This one's Willa. You heard her screech as I picked her up. Oh, I know. You can't fake that. You love me, don't you? I know. I'm just a kitty. Just a kitty. Just a kitty. Just a kitty. Okay. I don't think she wanted to see me anyways. I know he's over there. The guy the swagger's over there. Follow the swagger.
Come here, Willa.
Yeah, there. She likes Lorenzo. She can hear him talking. Yeah, she right to him. I see you running. How come you don't run to me? Bitch. There's cats everywhere. We went through this. What does that mean when you have 5 cats? You're sad and alone. All right. Now I need a point in the external object and a point in my plane. You can see how to do that. The best way to do it is usually just kill 2 and then you can solve for the other one. Everyone wants integers. Then I create the vector from A to B. Then I'm going to put those in there. Now what I want was, step 3 was I computed the length of n. And now the distance is d, is this computation. And I'll put the absolute value on there. So I need a dot b or ab dot n. So what is that? I have negative 3, 1, negative 4. Oh, he did so that it would be negative. And then he laughs because he's like, people put the answer. That amuses us so much. He probably takes marks out because he's even further 20 years jaded than me. But you do all this computation and you try to tell me the length of the negative number. It's like, are you using your brain at all, kids? He's so geometric that it just makes him sad that people don't think to themselves that the valid answer can't be negative if it's a distance. What was n? 2, negative 1, 2. Yeah, so it's a big negative integer. What do I get? Negative 6, negative 7. Uh-oh, negative 15. Oh, see? Negative 15 divided by 3 is negative 5. And you're like, the distance is negative 5. That's why he put the absolute value. So the distance is 5 units, whatever it was. The answer is 5. Hi, you want to come back? I'm all chalky. That means you're going to get all chalky, but okay. Swish, 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 swish. I know, I was telling them that you wanted to see what's up here. Do you want to do some math? You want to know what that is? It's pretty exciting. Ignores me all day. All day she'll ignore me. Actually, this one, no. She sits in my spot And then as soon as I get up, she immediately sits in it again and then looks at me like I should be moving for her. Right? I know. It is a kitty. Oh, it's so kitty. Plus, I wanted to show you that somebody loves me. Somebody loves me, don't you? Oh, it's a kitty. Sunil says I collect the wrong kind of pussy. Now what? Anyone else got any problems? This is a free review on a Tuesday where I could be doing any plethora of. I don't have a life. Let me tell you. When we turn this stream off, I'm gonna do math, just not this kind of math. I do have math that I like to enjoy, and Lorenzo really wants to do. Uh, I have done further. I should have told you this more than once,
Oh,
but
wait,
I have
what?
been working on your bear, on your bear models.
Oh shit.
On your Pizzly Bear models. I found a couple of interesting things too. I'm not sharing it with you. I'll write it for him, but I'll be damned if I explain it to him. That's the master's. When you get a master's degree, that's the joke as the supervisor. I'll write the damn thesis for him, but I'll be damned if I explain it to him. Yeah.
All right, students, now's your time. Getting a
Yeah,
question or
start
two.
asking me questions or I'm
this is
ending
it.
the stream. Lorenzo actually does have a life because he's got Italian swagger. And I'll say kitties of his own to go chase down. Silence.
Distance question.
I do this in class all the time, so they're picking up what I'm putting down. They're like, ask another question, or he will press stop on the live stream.
Okay, so we have one distance.
I just did the distance.
Yeah, so that was the distance question. Another one is parametric and symmetric equations. More parametric and symmetric.
They're scared of lines and planes. Okay. Coincidentally, nudge, nudge, wink, wink, there is a typo in your exam. So x minus 1 over 2 equals, it says x again on your exam. It's a y. So it's definitely, I'm giving you something in parametric form. Y plus 1 over 0. Ooh, the only time Mark will allow me to divide by 0, so I'm going to do it immediately. And then z minus 17 over 2, because everyone hates fractions, over 31.
That's a mean looking one.
I don't know what they want from that. What do you want me to say? Actually, it looks mean, but then I'll say, is this parallel, perpendicular? Oh, I know why you're doing that. What time is it right now?
5:37.
Guess when's the last time I fed Kitty? She doesn't love me. She's hungry. Or oblique. Oh, cat. Oh, come in here. That was her way of saying, "Can I get up in your grill? And you want to stop the stream? Can I have some kitty food? Can you feed me?" I thought you loved me, Kitty. Not even the cat. Okay, maybe I am an asshole. Not even the cat loves me. She just wants, just feed me, dum dum. I'm coming. I'm coming. That's what he said. Dear God. I wanted it to be PG-13. I'm allowed to say whatever I want on Twitch. That's how I got fired from the U of A. The U of A said, don't do... They told me not to do any go rogue on the reviews for the final exam. They're like, just do the questions we gave you in class. So then I immediately said, okay, I'll just do that. So I beep, boop, beep in class, just did the questions. And I told all the 1,300 engineers that we were going to do a live stream and I'll answer whatever questions they want on Twitch. We got like 600 people to show up that day. And then I didn't get asked back at the U of A. Is it a parallel?
Is there a correlation?
Parallel? I don't know. I open my mouth and then people don't want to hang out with me anymore. I haven't found correlation isn't causation. Or something like that. The converse is false. Is it parallel, perpendicular, or oblique to 17x plus 19y minus z equals 7? So this is a line and this is a plane. Whoa. I don't know where it went. Now I'm trying to wreck this. So this will be the last one I do, and then you guys can ask me questions tomorrow. I'll be at McEwen. You can email me, etc. Not going to my office on principle. I've got 2 more days and I didn't go to my office this semester. I'm nothing if not principled, all right?
You were on Twitch far more than
Yeah, I did that
office.
I
Twitch
did that. I
hours.
covered my ass. I sent an email to everybody and said if you want office hours, I'll do it on a virtual office hours because officially for McEwen, they gave me 3 of the same class in the same day and no parking, so I have to keep going to move my car. What do they want me to do? How am I supposed to have office hours? I'm only human. I've been trying to be superimposed, but thus far I can only be in one place at one time. See, this is better anyways. You can ask me whatever question you want. You can have electronic courage, I call it. It used to be liquid courage. Let me have a few drinks and tell you how I really feel. Now you can just tell me because it's electronic and I don't know which avatar is which. This should be easy, shouldn't it? I don't know why I picked these stupid numbers for myself, but I'll be the one driving, so don't worry. I gave myself a 0, thank God. From any one of these avatars, you have to know the conditions. What should I do first? There's the line, whatever it is. I don't know how they're slightly slanted or whatever. Oh, I'm not going to do a Chinese joke. But however they're orientated, these objects are parallel. Am I right? Yes. But the vector that we use to describe a one-dimensional object is in the direction of the object. In this one, the vector that we use to describe it in general is perpendicular. I use green for Pickle Rick. He's around here somewhere, but I don't know where he went. Also upstairs. I use him in the shower too. Oh, that's for a different. No pegging allowed.
Good Lord.
No pegging allowed. Good Lord, not the bad Lord. That one's down. That's the Slayer album, South of Heaven, that gets constantly misinterpreted. South of Heaven means earth. South of Heaven, directly south of heaven, is where all the evil goes on. Hell is below heaven, or hell is below earth. It's the antipode. Earth, heaven, somewhere up here. It's in the cloud, I guess. Antipode. There's a normal vector. Here's the other normal vector. They're cross products are negatives of each other. But this is Sud von Himmel. What was I talking about? Parallel, perpendicular, or neither. These objects are parallel. So L is parallel to P. And I told you if you're here, especially, I am having no mercy on anyone in any 3 of my classes, all 70 times 3. Math is hard. 210 students. Carry the 1, yeah. I'm having no mercy if you don't draw this picture and then you get this condition wrong. These objects are parallel. But from the picture, do you see? That means that their dot product should be 0. Is that true? No. How can I tell just by inspection? Where is the vector in the direction of this line? There it is. V is 2, 0, 31. It's the only time Mark will allow me to divide by 0 because that's not really division by 0. It's the coordinate is 0. So because he allows me one and only one time ever to divide by 0, I did it for you. That's the vector V in the direction of this line. And now I'm asking, is that line parallel to this plane? But the normal vector is where? Right here, 17, 19, -1. And I know that, oh, okay, that's actually not that bad. I know that 2 times 17 is 34. I definitely know that 0 times 19 is 0. And I definitely know that -1 times 31 is -31. So 34 plus 0 plus 31 is 3, another prime. Swinging primes everywhere. So that is not 0. So they are not, their dot product is not 0, therefore they are not parallel. If you get the condition wrong and you don't draw a picture, No mercy. Just like the cops when they pull you over for drunk driving, they have not ruined your life. You ruined your life. I'm the consequence. Cause, effect. You're the cause. Draw a picture, get it right. The condition is the objects are not parallel because the dot product of the two vectors describing these one-dimensional and two-dimensional objects are not orthogonal. Are they scalar multiples of each other? That should be easy also. If v is a multiple of n, that says 2 has to equal alpha times 17. This says 0 has to equal alpha times 19. And this says 31 has to equal alpha times -1. So from these, it immediately says alpha has to equal 0 and alpha has to equal -31. That cannot be. So I get a contradiction. So they are not multiples of each other. So the line and the plane are not parallel. The vectors are not parallel. So the line is not perpendicular. Upside down T for time to get out of town is not parallel. But they're not. Don't do that. Don't light it on fire, definitely. Not parallel. They're not perpendicular. So they're oblique. So the real picture the whole time was outlier. I like oblique, and I thought outlier was outlier when I first read it. You can't win. You can't win them all. Me fail English? That's impossible. What's these outliers?
That is freaking hilarious.
It is. Luckily, Muhammad Islam, my instructor, said outlier before I asked what an outlier was. So I didn't embarrass myself. I'm like, oh, outlier. Saying it out loud, that sounds a lot more like statistics.
That sounds more better.
Yeah, that sounds more better than what I was gonna say. Because me English fail impossible.
You do math, not English.
Yeah, we do math around here.
All right, we have great viewership right now. Do you want to take a look at this other question? If you've done that.
Like we actually have viewerships. Everybody chat in the chitty chat.
Yep. Question 15 of the final review.
I don't know what that means. What are you talking about? Come at me with the fucking number 15.
Would you
tell me what kind of question it is?
Well, in the meantime, there's the area questions.
Can you go to, is McEwen up on there?
Probably.
Now I have to log in. McEwen. It'll have to ask you to get in there. Now I'm going to have to ask, yeah, that should say yes. It'll probably want a two-party verification. Just a second. Either type. Yeah, I'm anger rating. I will do it, but I've told you more than once, don't come at me with a number 15. I don't know what that means.
Best guess?
Yeah. Any one of them. My courses. Any one of those. Final exam.
Math cats.
Oh yeah, I put the cats up there.
Very nice.
There it is.
Okay, yeah, I see. All right, so number 15 is up here somewhere. There it is. Okay, nice.
3. My daughter thinks that too. Girls are always saying that. It's not the words that you were saying, it's the tone that you use. Shut up! And that's when I hit her, officer. So yes, I like math. I just don't like the fact that you said number 15 because you don't know how to articulate yourself. If you said number 15 is about determinant properties, you're like, I don't know how to articulate that, and I don't want to say outlier and embarrass myself. So, okay, I get it. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Good thing you asked this. So,
that's a...
A, B, C, D. I don't care about number 15. The numbers don't matter. They won't be the same as on there. So I'm going to say this is a 2-er. Did you just throw out a 9-er? 9-er. Let's do it as a Russian 9, which looks like a G. There you go, Mark. So the determinant of A is 9. Okay? And now I'm going to ask what's the determinant of B, which is C, D, A plus, I'm going to change it to 2D B plus 2C. And now what you're asking yourself is, how do I use the three determinant properties to turn this into A? So let's compute the determinant of B. This is, see the little ticks there mean that that's a matrix. If I take them off, now we're computing a determinant, not an absolute value. So I want it to look like this, A, B, C, D, and when I use the properties along the way, I want to keep track of this. So the first thing I could do is interchange row 1 and row 2. So I'm going to interchange, oh, I said no ticks now. Interchange row 1 and 2. And that will give me a -1 on the outside of the determinant. So the determinant operation, det op 1, is if you interchange 2 rows or 2 columns, you get a negative on the outside of the determinant. That will give me A plus 2D and B plus 2C, CD. So now I have the same, is what I think to myself. And now I say, how could I kill that 2D and that 2C? Well, this is finally a win. Det op 3 says if you replace a row or a column, but I don't suggest you do this. Mark's really mean and he'll do that to you. But if you replace a row with a multiple of another row, that doesn't change the determinant at all. So we still have the -1 from here, from this move. And now I can do row 1 gets replaced with row 1 plus 2 row 2. And what's that going to do for me? It's going to turn it into that. Because if I multiply this by -2, or sorry, that should be, I wrote that down wrong. That should be a C and a D. Otherwise, we can't do it. Sorry. Yep. There, I just corrected it. But that should be a C and a D. In the thing, it was a 3C and a 3D. If not, I'm making it up as I go. Technically speaking, all language and all math is made up. So I multiply by 2. 2C minus 2C just leaves me A. And B plus 2D minus 2D just gives me B. So that didn't change anything. And what is this determinant? This determinant we said was 9, I just made up. So this is -9. People are going to show up at 6. Luckily, after 5 and weekends, I don't check my email. What's next? Yeah, it's actually typing, so there's actually people showing up.
Oh, yeah.
Necessity breeds war. Necessity breeds invention. War is the mother of all necessity. As soon as I say I'll do extra work for you the day before.
There was the question of the areas question. There's nothing specific posted. Do you remember what the area questions were?
I just said there's going to be area. Don't ask it like that. Watching this monkey dance, yes, I'll tell you right now, there's an area question on your exam.
Is that, do you have one?
I can load, I can do exactly what they want. Sometimes as a parent, making them angry means I'm doing a good job. Get back. I know, I told them I was going to go feed them. They keep asking me damn questions. I know my... Willis says this is the last one because we're hungry. Am I right? Am I right? Okay. Go see Italian Swagger. He's over there. Oh, there, good. Draw a picture. Here's a parallelogram. What's half, nudge, nudge, wink, wink. What's half of a parallelogram? A triangle determined by U and V. So let's suppose U is equal to 1, 0, 2. Let's suppose V has coordinates -3, 1, 1. Okay? What's the area of the triangle determined by U and V? Triangle, or you could call it ABC in geometry. And again, as soon as you do it on exams, people lose their mind because they're just pigeons on a stool. They're like, don't write it as triangle ABC. It's the same thing we've been doing the whole freaking time. Don't calm down. It's going to be, what is this? The area. Let's use syncopated algebra of the triangle. I like syncopation. Me being super sophisticated. Then we'll do a math problem that was I say tweeted, but Tim keeps sending them to me and reluctantly making me click links in text. So what's the triangle of this? It's going to be what? 1/2 times the magnitude of u cross v. So we're going to do a cross product again. I know you're hungry. Here, come up here and let's crush this out and then we'll go eat some food. You're going to eat cat food. It's too salty for me. I've tried it.
What the hell?
Well, you got to see what it's like. And it's like, yeah, definitely no.
It's like tuna, but worse.
Yeah, it is. I was like, Mad Max can do it. No, I had to spit it out even. It was gross. The chewy ones, it's like, that's just like sawdust in your mouth. I toughed it out and swallowed that one. But it's not good, kitty. Even the treats. Okay. What are we doing? U cross V. Now we're going to do it fast because kitty wants food. This is I, J, K. What do we have? 1, 0, 2, -3, 1, 1. So this is going to be I times, what do we get? I'm not even going to write it out. This is going to be -2 minus J times, what are we going to get? 1, 7. Holy crap, we're getting the same. Is this the same one? I don't know. You're a special kitty. You're a very special kitty. Kitty. Plus K times. That's all being recorded, isn't it? Kitty. Oh, you're so cute.
All of it, yes. Students, feel free to clip that, repost it on YouTube.
Don't share this. Delete after using. Please destroy after reading this. 7.
Oh, it's going all over X and Instagram or whatever the hell the kids are using these days.
Yeah, can we make it short? Now I'm making mistakes. Now we're making mistakes. You can't fake how hungry she is. -2, 7, 1. Assuming we did that with a cat in our arms correctly, I won't punish you too much if you make mistakes. Now, what's the norm of that? The norm of u cross v is equal to the norm of this vector, negative.
Nice try. I don't think that sounds like... I'm responding to a comment right now. I don't think that sounds like one of the apps that we use.
Grinder, Tinder.
Actually, that was the joke that the kid made.
I'm trying to guess. I'm like, you little pricks. I know what you're trying to say here.
That's funny. You have a request to see all the cats too, by the way. They want to see the cats.
You want me to literally go herd cats in real time? Lorenzo just noticed they're all in a file on Meskiness. You can't check. Go open the file. All the cats are in there. She's been sent as the representative to do this. This is the square root of -2 squared plus -7 squared plus 1 squared, which is 4954. So this is 1/2 times the square root of 54. Good enough. Just a second, I'll go see if I can procure cats.
All right. While he's doing that, he's muted right now, in case anyone's wondering. I will put the link to the YouTube course if you guys want to review some of those. 1 second here. Where is it? The full course. There we go.
She's fighting me already. She's fighting. Here's the white one. This one's Jasper. I just told them that you didn't want to do it. Did you hear that ringing in there? This one's Jasper. This is the one that sits on me at night. I was just telling them. I know. Oh, she likes me too. All right, she's going to bite me though. I know. Lorenzo's over there. Why did I bring you down here? Okay, I got to go feed cats and I'm hungry too. Thanks for showing up. Don't worry. I'll be available. I'll be at MacEwan. Email me if you have any last minute worries and I'll ignore your email. And I think you'll do good. There's 8 problems. The one multiple choice has that determinant type stuff on there and determinant properties. So check these things. There's definitely equation on lines and planes. There's definitely Kramer's rule. There's definitely basis. There's definitely geometric area and orthogonal projection of u onto v. There's definitely math on the exam.
Nice.
I don't know how many I just said there, but narrow that down. You should be good.
All right. Yeah, and I think you said you're going to be there like pretty early, right? That was one of the questions in the chat.
A wizard is never early nor is he late. Don't come and look for me for in my office. I won't be there. Stop asking the secretary. They hate me enough as it is already, and they know better than to know where the hell I am. I'll be in building I'll be in building 9 in front of the Italian spaghetti center where I always eat food every fucking day.
Right on.
I'll tell you at the end of the semester, so now you can find me. No one knows where. But yes, I'll be around. Email me if you have any problems. I'll come and meet you. But I'll be hanging out in building 9
and
with a stack of papers. If you want to fight me and you think you can freaking arm wrestle them out of me, you can have one early.
And rewatch this stream, everyone. As soon as we shut it off, this will be
comment,
Twitch,
support a freaking wizard on Patreon. It's like $5, please, or whatever. Oh, mute off. It'd be like $5, and I can start helping to feed my kid. Because I'm pretty sure as of June, McEwen's got rid of me. I don't have a job anymore. So thank you. See you in Calculus 114 in the spring if you really want.
All right. Goodbye, everybody.